Hey guys, what's up? It's John. Hey, welcome to my home office. This is where the magic happens, right? This is where I do a lot of my editing and post-processing for my videos when I'm not doing other things. We picked kind of the smallest bedroom in the house, and we had this desk that came with the house, and I thought, well, that's cool. I'll use that. I have an Apple Cinema display. Absolutely love it. It was pricey, but it's wonderful. And I had a larger monitor, but it didn't fit on the desk, so I have this old 15-inch monitor as my second monitor. I love having a second monitor. Other than that, there's not much in here. It's not too exciting. But this, anyway, is where I hang out and spend a lot of my time. And I just wanted to bring you all in here because the UPS man brought me something really exciting, and I wanted to show it to you. And that is this right here, the Sena 20S. This is the is it really big brother if it's new? Maybe younger brother, the hipper, techier, cooler brother of the SMH10, the very, very popular Bluetooth intercom unit from Sena. This is really kind of the top of Sena's line as far as Bluetooth communication goes. And we're going to check it out. So what we're going to do is we're going to do an unboxing and first impressions review. I've used it once, not this one. This one's going to be for my wife, but I have a second one that I've already installed on my helmet. And I used it today, and I haven't used it for intercom yet, but I've used it for a phone call. I've used it for music, even though I have a stereo on my bike, and that's not a feature I wanted it for, and other things like that. And so I'm going to give you my first impressions, and we're going to tear into this box together, and we're going to see what we think of this brand new, somewhat new, pretty new Sena 20S. Okay, guys, check it out. Alright guys, so here's the deal. Since about the late 1970s, there have been intercom units on motorcycles, and these intercom units typically wired into the bike and gave you the ability to talk to your passenger or use a CB radio to talk to other bikes. We've come a long way, and for oftentimes less money, you get a lot more features with a Bluetooth headset. This is simply the way to go. And as far as Bluetooth headsets go, according to all the reviewers and all the people who know what they're talking about, and even the people who don't know what they're talking about, this is the way to go. So we're going to check it out, and we're going to see maybe if you and I would agree that this is really kind of the bee's knees, cat's meow, the way to go as far as intercoms go. So checking out the box real quick on the front, you get a nice little picture of the main unit and a few little quick caveats. It lets you know that it's Bluetooth 4.0, which is a new Bluetooth standard that uses less energy to produce the signal. Why Bluetooth 4.0 matters to you, dear consumer, is that it's going to use less power, which means, in theory, it can have a longer battery life, or it could just have a smaller battery. Sena tells us that this is going to go the other way. This is going to have a longer battery life. It tells you can do up to 8 multi-way connections, and it gives you the very, let's say, optimistic range of 1.2 miles. Most reviewers say it's less than that, but still quite a bit. And it does audio multitasking. That is one of the biggest features of this over the SMH10, its younger brother, is audio multitasking. With 2 Bluetooth radios, I can have, let's say, GPS instructions going on at the same time as intercom instructions. On the side here, you have more little views for features. The jog dial, something Sena is famous for. Music sharing, the ability to share music with other riders. And universal intercom, the ability to actually pair this with other brands of intercoms. Now, I have been using inexpensive Chinese Shark intercoms like this one for years. They work well. I'll get to that in a minute. They work kind of well. They work really well. It depends on the day. Sometimes kind of well, sometimes really well, sometimes not well at all. And reliability is not great, but they do work. However, I was not able to get this to pair with its universal headset intercom system. FM radio, as I said, those are features I'm not going to use because I have intercom on my bike, and I have a radio on my bike. But anyway, more features, more pictures. But hey, you're not interested in that. Let's open this up. Attractive little box. It's a sleeve with a box inside. Pull the sleeve off, and that's what we have. We'll discard that sleeve, and this is what we end up with. This nice box, and this kind of looks better than the box with the sleeve on it. Almost looks like a little shoe box. We open it up, and the first thing we get to is the manual, and I would definitely suggest you read through this. Now, more and more manufacturers are going to electronic manuals only, and I am appreciative that Sena has chosen to include a real bona fide paper manual. You also get this big upgrade now, firmware upgrade instruction set. Now, the other one that I got actually came with the most up-to-date firmware pre-installed. Let's see if this one does the same. You also have a quick start guide in here. If you just want to get to using it, you don't want to tear through the manual, this quick start guide includes basic information about how to use things such as the FM radio or how to use how to pair it. Lifting it up, we have the unit itself. This is the jog dial it talks about. Now, before we go any further, I want to mention one thing about this jog dial. As great as it is, as versatile as it is, as easy it is to use, it's not waterproof. Now, Sena's SMH10 unit is waterproof, but for whatever reason, this one is not. Now, people have reported that they've used this thing in all kinds of heavy weather, but Sena will not tell us that it's waterproof. In fact, they'll say it's weatherproof but not waterproof, and they'll suggest that in any bit of a rain, you should take it off. So if the manufacturer doesn't trust you to ride with this in the rain, I would suggest you don't. Now, Sena has also told me that in the rain, all that will happen is it will shut off, and then once it dries out, it'll work again. But their own forum suggests that there might be problems down the road if you do that. So keep in mind, if you ride in the rain a lot, as cool as this is, the lower spec SMH10 might be a better choice, or the significantly more expensive but just as feature-filled Pack Talk from Cardo would be a better option. The next thing you get is the bass. And the bass comes with 2 speakers pre-plugged in. These 2 right here, they have little plastic covers on them to, I suppose, protect them in shipping. One of the really cool things about Sena's headsets is that, as you can see back here, the speakers actually unplug. That's actually really exciting. That doesn't sound exciting, but that means they can be replaced, and that's important. And that means that if you're using it with its included headphone jack to use it with earbuds, which is right here, well, it's right there, you can remove the speakers altogether and just use it with the earbuds. Looking at the base some more, we also see this nice silver button, and that button quick releases the unit from the base. Unlike others which just slide down, this one actually kind of snaps firmly in place, and you need to push that button to release it. Nice little bit of extra firmness and security. Also, the 20S has the chrome ring that the SMH10 speakers don't have. Kind of silly though if you ask me, because once it's in your helmet, you're never going to see it again. Another feature that is unique to this model is this button right here. Click it twice, you have ambient mode. There's actually a microphone in this base. And when you double click that button, sorry about kicking the tripod, when you double click that button, sounds around you will be amplified inside your helmet. And that could be useful at a gas station, at a traffic stop, anything like that, where you want to hear the outside and maybe not necessarily need to take your helmet off. Or even just sitting at a traffic light and somebody without an intercom pulls up next to you, another riding buddy, and wants to talk to you. 2 quick taps, the light turns green on this, and you're in ambient mode. I'll show you that real quick. So we click this on. Turning it on is simple. You press these 2 buttons and hold them for a second. Give it a second. Flashes a couple times red. 2 clicks, and now it's green for ambient mode. Another click, and it's out of ambient mode. We can turn it right back off, and we're golden. This is a clamp style hookup to your helmet, and but it also includes the ability to use an adhesive. Removing the tray, we then get into what's really exciting, which is all that you get with it. So I'm going to move this box over. You don't really need to see it, I guess, and I'll just start laying out everything it comes with. It comes with these speaker pads, and I'm not particularly sure what these do, to be honest with you. But I'm assuming that in different types of helmets they'll become more useful. I gather that the idea here is that these will slip over the speakers, but if you're putting them inside the cheek pads of your helmet, I can't imagine they're necessary. But perhaps you'll find them necessary on your helmet. So they're there. Also included is another set of some sort of foam pads that, we'll pull these out real quick. Some Velcro pads, rather. That give you another way to kind of mount these, and I believe the idea here is that they kind of extend and cushion these speakers, especially if you have deep recesses in your helmet for thicker speakers. This will extend and push them out if that's what you need. So they thought of everything, I guess. And you get a couple of pieces of adhesive Velcro that you can stick inside your helmet, and I will do an install video. I'm getting a new helmet this weekend, and when that comes in, I'll do an install video of installing this in that helmet. Next thing you get, and this is exciting to me, I'm glad that there are choices. The next thing that you get is an internal boom microphone. So this is an external boom microphone. When it's on the helmet, the boom goes up into the helmet. That's useful if you have a 3/4 helmet or a half helmet. If you have a full face helmet, or certain 3/4 helmets with thick enough cheek pads, this boom microphone is great. It goes into the cheek pad, you just form it around the helmet, and there you have it. And that's my second most preferred microphone type. My favorite microphone type that Sena includes, let me dig in here real quick, for a full face helmet is this one. And they include all the Velcro that you need for it. And this microphone is just it right there. You undo this cable here, you plug it in, and you're good to go. And this little piece right here will sit right in front on the chin bar, and it'll offer you communications. Here's another little exciting thing I noticed. And I've got my Drift HD over here. This is the camera that I record my vlogs with. And I've left it on from an earlier vlog, apparently. We can turn it off real quick. And these microphones actually plug in to the Drift HD, and they work great. So I actually have two of them installed in my helmet. I have this one installed that plugs into the base for the Sena, and this one installed that plugs into my Drift HD and offers me audio for my vlog. So that's cool, anyway, that it works, and they're excellent microphones. Next, you get a USB charging cable, which looks suspiciously like this one, which of course is where you can plug in your Sena unit for firmware updates or for charging. They do not include a wall charger. You do get a nice little red light that lets you know that it's on. They do not include a wall charger. However, if you have a smartphone or a tablet, chances are you've probably got half a dozen USB port wall chargers. I know I do. More Velcro for various different speaker and microphone placements. More, even thicker pads to push the speakers out if you have deep recesses. An auxiliary cable, an auxiliary extension cable rather, that allows you to plug in. And this looks to me like a three-way plug that would include microphone capabilities. So it looks to me, and don't quote me on this, I'll know more when I get to play with it more, but it looks to me that like if I were to plug this into the auxiliary port and then plug this into, say, my iPhone, that I would actually be able to use this, even without Bluetooth, as an intercom device, including microphone capability. Now, I don't know about that or not, or if it would just be able to play music. That I'm not sure. Then you get a pack of wind socks for your microphones. One of the things that's also new on the 20S are these hooks on the sides of the microphones. As these little wind socks wear out, these pop filters wear out, they will kind of start to get loose and they can slide off. Those hooks help prevent that, and these are also very tight fitting on the microphones themselves. And you get a pack of 4 of them. So I guess Sena has really listened to their customers who said, you know, we don't like that they wear out and fall off and get lost. So Sena says, well, we'll give you 4 of them, and we'll put hooks on the microphones so that they don't come off. Pretty cool. The last 2 things you get in the box are a small hardware kit that includes an optional alternative stick-on, adhesive-on mount for the base. I'm sorry for saying so much. And what that's great for is helmets that have a thick neck roll underneath that a clamp style won't work on. You also get, and I'm going to pull that out, you also get a nice Allen wrench and some more pads. It's useful for loosening and tightening the Sena's clamp. And finally, you do get a car charger. Even though you don't get a wall charger, you get a car charger. And my bike has a 12-volt socket, so this is usable. And this is actually long enough that I can plug this in while I'm riding. And unlike most other Bluetooth units, the Sena the Sena 20S can be charged while it's in use, which is really exciting for those of us who go on long multi-day rides or who do motorcycle camping and may not have the ability to charge it in between rides, but could charge it on the bike while we're riding. I'm going to remove this real quick, and I'm going to show you how to replace and change these microphones. One of the coolest things about the Sena 20S is that the microphone and speakers and bass are replaceable. You can buy all the parts. Unlike so many other intercoms, including the Shark units on eBay, you cannot replace parts. This one you can, and whether you just want additional parts, whether you have multiple helmets and you want to buy extra basses and microphones and speakers so that all you have to do is switch between, is click the bass in different helmets, or whether you want to replace parts that have worn out or stopped working or have been damaged. Of course, all this comes with a price, and it's not a super low price, let's just be honest. So the base comes off, it has a nice little hole here. Now the speakers themselves are held in with a screw, but the microphone is not. And as you can see, it's just a regular old microphone plug. So if I was going to use, say, the small full-face helmet microphone, first I'd have to locate it. That's simply a case plugging it in. Then sliding the base back on. In theory, clamping it up into my helmet and tightening down the screws. And now I have changed my microphone. So it's really cool. It really is. And it works really well. I'm going to switch the camera real quick and we'll talk about it some more. Okay, now that I made a huge mess out of my formerly nice clean desk, I thought I'd give you a few quick first impressions. Now, first off, I'm really a fan of this unit. I'm a fan of how well it's built, how well it feels. It just feels like a well-built unit. My Shark unit lasted me for a long time. I've used them a lot. And one of the questions that a lot of you are going to ask is how the Sena and other units compare to these units that you can get on eBay for about $100 for a pair. Price difference is enormous. These run between $250 and $300 US a piece, depending on where you buy them. These run about $100 for a pair. So really, it's 500 versus 100. That's a big difference. So what do you get? Well, I actually have every Shark unit, Shark motorcycle audio unit. They've sent me them over the years to test and to review for their website, and they're all pretty good. They work good. But in the course of the couple of years that I've used them, I've replaced a number of speakers, I've replaced a number of microphones. Unlike this, which uses a base, this you have to actually plug the wire into, and over time the socket wears out, over time the wires wear out. Although they're perfectly great in bad weather and everything else, they just break. And audio quality is not great, they get staticky, they stop working, they stop pairing. You get what you pay for, and that's really the lesson here. But the question you're asking is it worth it? Now, obviously it is for me, and nobody sent me these. These are not demo units that were sent to me by Sena so that I might review them. These I paid for. I paid with real money, and I bought them because I wanted them. And I bought them because they work great. By the way, I almost forgot to show you. That's the other cool feature about the 20S is this pop-up antenna that's supposed to give you better range. So these worked great for me for years. As long as I kept replacing parts as they broke, they worked great. So if you're looking to save a buck, this is the way to do it. You could buy 5 of these. I mean, for the price of this, you could buy 5 of these. But if you were going to buy 5 of these, I'd rather you buy 1 of these. The biggest thing for me, and the reason I never bought an SMH10, is it didn't quite have a feature set that blew me away. This one does. With the ability to have 2 connections at once, that was the selling point. Sena, if you're listening, that was the selling point. The ability for me to listen to GPS instructions, or for my wife to listen to music. She doesn't have a stereo on her bike like I do. And for us to still be able to talk to one another is an excellent and fantastic feature. Beyond that, I'm just so happy to finally have something that has excellent build quality, tons of accessories in the box, everything I need. It's set up, it's good to go, and I don't have to worry about it. And it's nice to have this system. Are you missing out by not buying it and buying the more inexpensive one? You are. Do you absolutely have to go out and buy the $500 system or the $250 system? You don't. And that's my take on it. These systems work great, and I would encourage folks who are looking for a low-cost way to get into it. Or the next step up from that is an SMH10 from Sena if you don't need the dual radio feature. The thing is, this thing is so much more expensive than its little brother, older brother. I don't know how we're defining it. And it only has a couple more features. So unless those features like the dual radios or the ability to connect to 8 riders at once or the longer range are must-haves for you, chances are you're going to be better off just getting the SMH10. But the app is also really cool, but the novelty wears off quick because the app isn't great. It's a pretty poorly made app, and I'm referring to the iPhone app. My iPhone's, you're my iPhone up on a tripod up there. So I do have a DSLR, but just a testament to how good smartphone cameras are in terms of just point and shoot video. The iPhone kind of beats it. If I set things up correctly and knew what I was doing with video, I'd probably use the DSLR. But anyway, so the app is pretty basic, but it means you don't have to sit here and roll through all kinds of menus, listening to voice prompts. You can't do much with this without plugging the speakers in and listening to them, putting your helmet on. So without having to sit there and listen through menus, the ability to control things with the iPhone is really great. I'm going to give you some more perspective on this as I have more time to ride with it and can learn more about it. And of course, as always, I would appreciate your comments and your questions. If you're thinking about an upgrade or thinking about a first-time Bluetooth unit, I would love your questions. I've done a lot of research on this leading up to this purchase, and would love the opportunity to pass along my experiences and what I've learned and what I think. I'm looking forward to more vlogs with you guys. I'm looking forward to hearing more from you guys. Let me know in the comments below what you thought of an unboxing video from me. Do you think they're as ridiculous as I do? Or do you want me to do more of them? And are you interested in product reviews from me? Or do you want me to just kind of put the headset away and stick to the bike? Hey, be honest. All right, I'll talk to you guys later. God bless. Bye-bye.